What's up, everybody? Welcome to AEW Uncensored Podcast. Here with my co-host, the Beast from the East, Nash and Hall, or Hash and
No
Null,
hash.
as we discussed last week, is our new tag name. Alan, what's up?
How you doing?
Not bad. We are having some technical difficulties with Alan's Skype. I was excited for him to be back east. However, his Skype is not excited for him to be back east, and
Nope, it is not.
it's been choppy, and we're both pretty frustrated leading into this show. A little behind the scenes, so bear with us. Alan's on his phone right now. We're hoping that audio stays pretty solid. It's been pretty decent so far while we've been chatting, while he's trying to correct everything on the computer. But moving on from that, what's up, brother?
Yeah, I apologize if I sound distracted. I am, off the cuff, a bit frustrated. We'll get,
You're like me 2 weeks ago.
yeah, yeah, I don't know what to say.
So
It's not been
all right,
with my move.
let's start it off real quick. I'll go through the usual weeklies. So like, share, subscribe on YouTube, hit the bell. All that stuff counts. Give us a comment, whatever. Huge for the algorithms. Check everything we do out on uncensoredalliance.com. That's our website. Twitter at AEW Uncensored, one word. Emails, questions, reviews, thoughts, hate mail, whatever you want to do, send it to us. Things you want us to read on the podcast, your questions, whatever. Review the show. Tell us what you like or what you dislike about the show, and you can get us there at AEW Uncensored Podcast at gmail.com. Then you catch us on Facebook, AEW Uncensored Podcast. We have a page and a group. You search it, they'll both pop up. As always, get with us on Skype. That's how we'll bring you on the show. Link in the description for that. So you get in this Skype chat with us. If you want to jump on the show and voice your opinion, you have a couple things you want to talk about that happened on AEW the previous week, and we'll bring you on, and you could do that. As always, you can catch us on all podcast apps, everything: Google Podcasts, iTunes, third-party apps, Stitcher, iHeart, Deezer, TuneIn, all that stuff. So catch us there, and I guess that pretty much leaves us to get to it.
All right.
So what's up, Alan? You a little less frazzled, or still frazzled?
Still frazzled. We'll get through it.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
It's gotten a little worse, so.
It's gotten worse.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
So,
Jesus! I thought I was having a rough go of it 2 weeks ago.
but yeah.
At least I'm here. At least I'm here for you, pal.
Yes, I appreciate that.
As frustrated as I may be, at least. So first, all right. So while you're still, I don't know what you're doing over there. While you're still going, real quick, just want to say rest in peace to Brother Bob Armstrong.
Yes.
He just passed with a long battle with cancer. Condolences goes out to his family. So, it's a shame. It seems like every week now, something's, but listen, I mean, he lived a long life. He went out strong, and, he lived his life, and it was his decision. So,
Yeah, I thought it was worth just sharing a quick story about him. I had actually heard this on Stella Monster show, and somebody else had brought up as well. I never knew that he actually had one of his pinky fingers amputated, and he did it simply because something had happened at one point in his life where he lost control of the pinky, and he wasn't able to have it do what he wanted to do, and so it got in the way of him weightlifting and of just doing his normal workouts. So in order to be able to work out, properly to his own liking, he had it amputated, which is just crazy. Like, that's dedication.
wow.
And
Yeah,
there had been a broadcast where you see him, lifting up a title, and if you look really, really closely, you see just a nub where his pinky was. I forgot if it was the right or the left hand, but yeah, I mean, it's a short story just to talk about what his dedication to the craft was, and just to
Yeah.
bettering himself.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So rest in peace to him.
Yeah.
Shout out. What's up, Ken? Shout out to Kenny. Kenny's in the chat. He's with us.
What's up, Kenny?
Not sure if you've been here, Kenny. Alan's having a bit of a conundrum this week with the technology. It seems like every week we have a technological conundrum.
Yep. We need to incorporate that into our nickname, maybe. I don't know.
The technological conundrum, is that our new tag name? We're no longer the Beast from the East, or
AEW.
Hash.
Well, no, maybe even the podcast name, like it'd be AEW Untechnically Uncensored. Let's go with that.
Oh shit. Yeah, definitely, Kenny. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, man. That shit came as a surprise. That was just like out of nowhere. He kept that really private, which good for him. I mean, like it. Far be it from anybody to say, oh, Jesus, I wish I knew. I was like, that's just. I'm glad he was able to keep that private. Some semblance of privacy going through that issue.
Yeah.
Sadly, in the end, he lost his battle as well. That really sucked. When I heard that.
And it did come out of nowhere. Nobody really was aware of that at all. It just came out of nowhere. It was very sad.
Yeah. What's crazy is I believe it was Jackie Robinson Day the day he passed away.
Yes, that's correct.
Which is crazy considering he played Jackie in 42.
That's right.
That's wild. Yeah, but rest in peace and condolences to his family as well. I believe I heard he married his longtime love shortly before he passed, which condolences to her as well. Geez, this is a somber ass beginning.
Yeah, this is a real shitty way to start off a show.
Alan's technologically unsavvy and unfortunate passings.
All over. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's try to bring the pace back up, man. I'm gonna try to bring the energy today.
All right.
Hopefully I do everybody justice here. So like, share, subscribe, motherfuckers. Get on our shit. Tired of this not liking our shit, man. I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness,
likes are important.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, take all your family members' phones and get on their YouTube and like, share, and subscribe on their phones as well. So real quick, I don't know where you are, if you're kind of back to your notes and whatnot. Rumor has it that Cody is basically they moved on from Cody as the TNT champ. He's doing a show with Scott Amell, right?
Yep.
I believe that you say his name. Stephen Amell.
Yep.
Sorry, Jesus, Scott Amell.
Yep.
Stephen Amell from Green Arrow fame, or what the fuck is Arrow fame?
Yeah,
technically Green.
Same deal for the most part.
Yeah, technically Green Arrow, but yeah, from Arrow fame. They're doing a show. I forget what channel it's on, but I believe it's cable.
And I believe it's going to be on Stars, if I'm not mistaken. I apologize if I'm wrong about that. But yeah, it is. It's a show called Heels. So yeah.
So Heels on Stars. Yeah, Heels on Stars. It's pretty funny that they have Heels for the AEW women's thing, and then he's got a show coming for Heels.
Yeah.
I found that pretty funny. But yeah, apparently it's going to be a show about wrestling, so that's cool. Something for us to look at, and some more wrestling in our lives, other than WWE.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. I know Alan still follows.
Very peripherally.
Peripherally, right. I barely do that. You know how I get my WWE stuff is when other podcasters I listen to do AEW shows. And I'm listening because it's about AEW, and the callers. Oh, I notice this every single time. You have to have a caller or a guest that has to ask about WWE shit, and I'm like, I came here because this is an AEW podcast. I don't want to hear your questions about WWE. So if you're ever on our show, don't fucking come on and think you're gonna talk WWE, because I'm just gonna cut you off and send you packing.
there are plenty of other guys who do it, and I understand that apparently from what I've been hearing, there are a lot of folks who are kind of like me. They don't watch the product anymore, but they're still peripherally interested in what's happening. And so they're hoping that they are going to at least get like clips notes of what's happening through shows. And
Right.
that's why they call in
Well,
and they listen to it. But yeah, for us, it's just all
but
AEW all the time.
but these shows are literally like that day is literally for AEW, and these guys do shows for WWE throughout the week, multiple times about WWE throughout the week, and yet it's an AEW show for that day,
Yep.
and these WWE fans still call in and ask WWE bullshit.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you, Kenny. I don't really follow that shit. Even when they do hit these shows up, I just skip through them. But all right, now I'm just on a rant now. I should have put the flames up. It wasn't that bad of a rant though.
No, that was minor.
That was tame. What do you got miscellaneous otherwise? Do you have your notes up or?
Yeah, I do. I mean that you basically took the words out of my mouth. It was really just Cody. And then of course, just a quick aside. I mean, I'm sure everybody's aware. Shaquille O'Neal has come out and pretty much said that he would love to come on the show. That's huge. The fact that
is huge.
Have a prominent star such as him basically saying, "Look, I want to be on this show. Let's find a way." And
who just recently signed a big deal with TNT.
Yeah, exactly. So that speaks well for AEW because people were worried with what happened with the whole corporate shenanigans that took place, that AEW might be on the chopping block, that it may feel that the network is not very invested in the show. But the good news is that the fact that you do have someone prominent like Shaquille O'Neal coming out and saying, "I want to be on there," that will hopefully give confidence to TNT executives that, okay, we've got a major star who wants to be on this program. This is something we need to look into fostering and continuing and expanding on. So it's a good sign, hopefully, for AEW being on TNT and for the network feeling comfortable that they can excel there.
Yeah. They from all reports, I don't know how true these reports are, but it sounds like they were pretty happy with the Saturday numbers. Especially considering, listen, they went up against basketball, playoff basketball. They went up against UFC. They went up against NXT's Big Show. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Exactly.
Their numbers were pretty damn good considering.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a good sign. It's a good.
And the was it the Republican National Convention as well?
Oh yeah. Actually, wait, was the RNC happening that day? Yeah, I think you're right.
I believe it was.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you're talking a lot of things, man. I mean, you're talking it's going up against 4 heavy hitters, right there. Playoffs are always heavy for any sport. UFC is always going to draw some people's eyes away. The both parties conventions, those are always highly watched programs, and of course NXT. I mean, that's their big show.
Yeah.
So, but so that's good to hear that they're kind of doing well. Kenny says Shaq versus Barkley would be great, dude. That would be fucking amazing.
That actually would be pretty good if they could find a way to pull that.
That would be fucking amazing. Yeah. Yeah, because how they're always jabbing at each other on. Well, I mean, I don't know because I don't watch it like that, but I see like the commercials and where they're always busting each other's balls.
Yeah.
When they show those video packages to promote them and their show and whatnot, for the NBA, whatever their show they have for the NBA, pre-post show, whatever. All right, so I guess we got the miscellaneous out of the way. I feel like you're a little more back in the saddle right now, looking at your face. I feel like you're slightly.
I'm a good actor. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Alan's still out. Alan's still discombobulated.
No, I'm fine though. I mean, I'm fine. I'm just I'm definitely performing. So yes.
You're a good performer. You're better than Matt Jackson. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
So all right, so we'll just start with Dark. There's a lot of shit on Dark this week, and a couple things I actually wanted to check out and see how it went. I don't think I ended up doing much of that though, believe it or not. As I went, I thought I wanted to watch more than I did. Um, so we had Mel versus Red Velvet. For me, that was to see Mel.
Same.
She looked good. She looked good. Just keep building her up. That's all. That's what I feel. It's that's all I'm looking for. Keep building her up because it's gonna come a time. I feel like there's a couple bright spots of the women's division that are around now, but they're just for some reason not pulling them into where they need to be, and that's around Shida. For some odd reason, I don't know. All right, so do you have anything before, after? I don't even know if that was the first match. That might have been the first match.
It
Do you have
wasn't.
anything after?
It wasn't the first match. It was like I think the third or the fourth match, but it also is the first match that I had comments for. Exactly same thing. Saw it for Mel. She's definitely a rising star, and I'm hoping they are eventually going to put her into a prominent position on the actual, the main show. But yeah, I mean, as far as afterwards, man, I mean, I was kind of like you this week with Dark, where I didn't have many notes just because, don't get me wrong, it wasn't bad. It was just a lot of matches with, again, not really much playing in the way of any kind of a main story, at least for me. Mm-hmm. So no other really like significant notes, so to speak, for that program.
All right, so I mean, I have something here. So now I go, I always watch Avalon and Cutler.
Yeah.
So I watch every match. They went against Serpentico and Luther, and wow, they still lost. They made them lose to Serpentico and fucking Luther. So there's got to be some kind of payoff to this. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like, I was kind of baffled. I wasn't really thinking about it at that point either, in terms of I was like, oh, they're going to win this match. That was my mindset. But I wasn't at the time thinking about how they just constantly lose all the time.
Yeah.
And my mindset where they were going to win. I was like, oh, they're finally going to they're going to fucking win a match, like not finally, cuz like I said, I wasn't thinking that deep into it. I was just like, oh, they're going to beat these guys. And then to get the loss, I was just like, what? Okay. So I have a feeling maybe there's got to be some kind of crazy build up to their finally getting a win. Did you have anything on that at all? Or
no, kind of the same mindset that exactly. I mean, it's like if you're going to give them any kind of a winning streak of any sort, you're going to have to start it here. I mean, it is kind of interesting that they do have this particular kind of a losing streak going.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. I mean, I get this losing streak, mm-hmm. but now they're getting cohesion. In story terms, they've always had wrestling cohesion.
Yeah.
But in terms of story, like, oh, good, bad, heel, face, and they're kind of like, okay, enough's enough. We're kind of like doing the same thing here. Let's just get it done. But I get the losing thing, but I get it against some of the people they've been wrestling in the past.
Yeah.
Versus who they wrestled this week. Next one I got is Ricky Starks and Shawn Dean. Not bad for what it was. Dean impressed me again, man. I really think he's pretty smooth in the ring. He looks smooth. He moves smooth. I mean, that's a huge thing, and that's a problem with a lot of these young talents in AEWs. Some of them don't move too smoothly. They're really setting things up and really deliberate in their movements and stuff. Even guys that have been around for a while, a guy like Luchasaurus, we talk about it all the time. Very deliberate in his movement.
Yeah.
He's not smooth. So to see Shawn Dean, he looks good. He's got a good look. He moves good. He's very good so far. I think AEW is really, going to keep him around if I had if I had to say so. So, I mean, I could be totally wrong, but he's definitely a guy I would keep around. Even if you keep him as enhancement for a bunch of years and let him grow into that role and bring him up slowly, mid-card, main event, whatever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past seeing him in the main event eventually. Did you have anything on that match or no?
No, but same thinking that, yeah, again, I think there's a common theme here with a lot of these guys that we do see on this show in general, where if we enjoy watching them and you get the feeling that they're trying to build them up, they're trying to have like their own, building blocks. It's almost like their own little version of NXT in a sense where they're trying to get them exposed here. And this is a guy who I think falls in that category where the better he does, the more exposure he gets. If they're feeling comfortable with him as a performer, then hopefully then he finds a slot on the main card. That's my whole thing with Dark in general is that I feel like it's a lot of spinning of the wheels until you find somebody who clicks or a group who clicks, and that they then decide to make that a part of the overall program.
Yeah. And I think that'll happen. So then we got Kazarian and Sabin. Good match by both. Wasn't expecting Kaz to win, but I think it's showing a lot of him watching matches from the front row lately. So maybe that's tying into him winning that match. Not that I don't think he should have won that match. I just am surprised he won it. But like I said, I've mentioned it a few times. I've noticed him about twice being out in the crowd watching the matches, and they've panned to him. So it's like sometimes when they're panning to a guy, there's a reason behind it. Maybe there's a future, like I had thought previous. Maybe there's a future in that. So we'll see. We'll see where that leads to. Kenny says, out of all the dark jobber talent, if you would pick one to keep and push, who would you guys pick? That's a good fucking question. Now I got to go into the banks.
Yeah, and again, there's so much dark talent that I don't even know if I'm thinking of everybody. That's the problem.
That's a good question because now I'm trying to think like who has really.
Well, you know what?
Who has really stood out?
I know who you and I will probably agree on. Mel. Mel is somebody who, we have, of course, seen her on the main program, but they have been showcasing her on Dark. She's not somebody right now who's really in the thick of it in the women's division. So I'm going to go with Mel. Mel is somebody who seems to have those building blocks of being somebody who's ready for prime time right now.
But he says jobber. Mel's not been a jobber.
Specifically somebody who's been losing all the time on Dark. Yeah, that is hard. That is hard.
I would say Sean. I believe Sean Dean is his first name. Yeah, I believe it's Sean Dean. Okay. I would say Sean Dean, honestly. I think so far he's the most polished guy on Dark that I've seen. Smooth, wrestles well, got a good look. I think definitely I would say him.
Okay.
In terms of people who are losing, there's been some other guys that look good wrestling, but I really don't see them going far. Like Alan Angels, I think he's in the right role in Dark Order right now.
Yeah.
But he wrestles his ass off. I'm not gonna lie. He can wrestle his ass off. So, but I think Sean Dean's got a look. He's got a main event look. He's wrestles smooth. He does well. So I'm gonna have to go with Sean Dean. I know it's fresh because I'm looking at I looked at him twice in a row on Dark. But honestly, I mean twice in a row and he stands out.
Yeah.
Nobody else really stands out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to think a little bit further, but that's definitely a name that I would agree with you on. They would need to give him, some more time with the mic to see how he would do in that regard. But at least from a performance standpoint and from a look, then yes, I would agree with you that he is definitely somebody who would, if not be at the very top of my list at the moment, just in terms of just trying to flag the question now, would certainly be near the top to at least be in contention.
That's a good question, Kevin.
Very
that
good
really
question.
Was. I just trying to go into banks. I think him for sure. Obviously you want to see what Pillman Jr. does a little more, and Austin Gunn, but you're not really getting too big a showcase from these guys, and so far they haven't really popped for me. But Sean Dean has, and I hope it's Sean. I know it's Dean. I wrote my notes Sean. I could have just been too lazy to rewind and just went off memory there. But anyway, so let's move on. I'm assuming you have nothing else. I have one more.
I mean, the only other thing I guess I would want to note is, the TH2, which still, I'm still trying to get around that name.
I got that. That's my last one. So
yeah. I mean,
set it off.
They look great. I again, something needs to be done about the name.
Yeah.
And I've already said before,
Hey,
yeah,
they're no Null and
they're
Hash,
no Nolan
okay? They're no
Hash. It's
Null.
true. That is the best name. That is the best faction ever. The best
Yeah, they are
imaginary
no
faction
Null
ever.
and Hash.
They're no Nolan Hash. But no, they're very good. They've been standing out. Again, I've said before, I'm not the biggest fan of Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss as a team. I'm just really not.
Right.
It's no offense to them
Yeah.
at all. I just don't. They just don't do it for me as far as performing. But I think overall the match was great, and it really did showcase TH2 nicely. And that is, again, not jobbers, but that is another group, and I would just like it. They're just called the hybrid, where I really want to see more from them. And this is a good showcase, I thought, particularly for a last match, for a main event. I'm glad they were in the main event, and I thought they were showcased nicely.
It was an okay match. Some spots were too much for me. And again, I was surprised Janela and Kiss lost. I really was.
Mm-hmm.
I just was, that kind of surprised me, especially because they did the whole promo package for them a while back. They've really been showcasing them as a tag team, and then they go and lose. So, little interesting. Hybrid 2, again, nice name change would do.
Yeah.
Just call them the hybrid. And, they are both very talented wrestlers. But I did think some of what went on in that match was a little too much, some of the spots. I do want to address the situation, a really sore subject here. I think we're getting into Brandy Rhodes territory, me and you.
How so?
I think we have changed our gimmick in 18. What are we on? Episode 18 right now?
Yeah.
I think in 18 episodes we have had 3, possibly 4 gimmicks. We have been the East-West Connect, the Beast from the East, the Bridge and Tunnel Connection, and we are now, what are we? Null and Hash.
We are Null and Hash. You know what?
So
I think that's it. I think we're Null and Hash. I don't
think Null and Hash is it.
That's it. And now, you know what's so funny?
Right.
It flows off my tongue so easily, unfortunately, that I'm going to always mess it up when I'm actually legitimately referring to Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. So that's going to be great.
Null and Hash, baby.
I'll see them at a signing, and I'll be like, Nolan Hash, can you sign my wrestling program? They're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Who's Null and who's Hash?
Who's Nolan? Yeah, exactly. We'll
Can I be Null? Can I be Null?
Yeah, you can be Null. I'll be Hash.
Okay. Because I used to like the rate. Yeah, because Null was my boy back in the day with the Razor's Edge. I used to put my brother in that shit all the time. So, yeah, that was my move. I would throw him in. I would throw him into a legit sit down power bomb on it.
It's a very clean looking move. It's so smooth.
It is.
It's. I mean, obviously you gotta take it properly, but like any other move, it could really hurt you if it's not done the right, if you're not taking it the right way,
not executed correctly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're getting off topic.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we don't have to stay on topic the whole time, man. Listen.
That's true.
I just had to say, man, I thought about it when we did the Null and Hash little joke there, and I was like, I was like, yo, we're about to do, we're trying to throw more shit than Brandy at the wall right now. I mean, we've gimmicked up 4 times in 18 episodes. So I still like the Bridge and Tunnel,
I like Bridge and Tunnel too, actually. But speaking of Brandy, she's not involved with that filming, is she?
I don't believe so.
Because from what I heard, she's apparently going to be off TV as long as he is, which is like, I don't mind it, but it's weird. It's like, okay, a little choke out for Anna Jay, and that's it.
Yeah, you're out.
For how many weeks? It's like
after doing this whole program with what's her name, and
exactly
Allie, it's like, come on, man. All right, so let's get over to Dynamite. Now we start Dynamite with the tag team gauntlet challenge.
Yep.
And the first teams are Bucks versus Nightmare Family. 9-minute match, about, give or take. I mean, I didn't really. I just happened to notice it was about whatever 809 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Short and sweet match, very well, clean, action packed, got it done. what do you got on that match? Anything particular stand out to you, or?
Nothing specific other than, I mean, I like Allie. There you go. Uh,
you pig, you.
I pig me, yeah, exactly. But no, decent match. Not a big surprise at all that Young Bucks are going to win because you have to have Young Bucks set up against Best Friends. So
Right.
it would make the most sense of the team. So yeah, I thought it was good. Decent, nothing specifically as far as notes go. Again, I just found it funny that they're like, they're noting on commentary. Oh yeah, Cody's out indefinitely, and Brandon Rhodes is at a ringside after being choked out during that same ambush. It's like, yeah, that one chuck out. Okay, you're gone for how long now?
Her larynx hurts, bro. Her larynx hurts.
There you go. She got like a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat injury from Macho Man.
I can't talk.
Yep.
So then we got all right. So the Bucks win that, and then we go from that match right into best friends. Obviously, it's a gauntlet match, so you go right in.
Yep.
They again put on another good match, another clean match. Chucky T again a little too deliberate sometimes. It was really odd the way Hangman. Obviously. Okay, so here's the deal. Obviously, you can't give the Bucks versus FTR in this. All right. I wasn't thinking that as it went on. Until a little later after the match, I was like, all right, okay, you can't really give that free and something that's been building for however many years. So it made sense that the Bucks lost. It also helped further the story about Hangman and the Bucks and Omega and that whole thing. And you could see that FTR's manipulation got to Hangman. And the only thing that was like a little awkward, I guess I could see why. I just was like, that's all he does. He just comes out there sheepishly and holds his legs so he can't get in to save his brother from the pin.
Yeah.
But I kind of get it, though, because he's not totally turning on his friends, but he's being manipulated to think that maybe he isn't as good. Maybe he isn't as worthy as he felt, like he felt he wasn't really, worthy with them. Like he felt like they were like, fuck you. And they really weren't, but that was just his perception of it.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get it after like really pondering that and thinking it through. But it was good now that I look at it in that eyes. I mean, in those through that lens, I should say. And it also here's where I think it's really gonna. Here's where I think it keeps him not as much. It doesn't fully heel turn him, and it still allows for that Kenny heel turn in his face, his face. Him staying face, because here's the deal, he can reprieve himself. He can right. That's a word. I'm trying to fucking think of a word to use there. He can
reprieve himself.
He could get a reprieve.
Yeah.
From this by doing something good to help the Bucks and kind of getting back in the good graces of the Bucks and as an apology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he can. I couldn't think of the other word I was trying to think of there. So I think a reprieve would be pretty solid word.
Yeah.
To use there. So. Mr. Scholar here telling you that. So that's where I feel like you could still get that Kenny, because obviously Kenny's going heel. You could still get that Kenny go, and you could still get Hangman to stay face, because that's, I think, where he was very strong leading into the COVID era, where he was so over that you don't want to turn him heel. Like, he was just too over as a face. Yeah. And you need that kind of face. You need that kind of face, the ultra baby face, So I think this kind of like gives him a little leeway to come back and make amends for what he did.
Yeah.
There's a better word. So I kind of went on that like path a little long there. I apologize. But You know me, I'm not very good at getting directly to the point. But the manipulation worked, right?
Yeah.
Let me real quick before you get in there. Kenny said, "Credit to Hangman, who looks like he's been crying for hours before that run-in. What was with his eyes? You guys catch that?" No, I didn't. I didn't even notice.
I didn't notice
I gotta
that
be
either.
honest. What? You think it was? Yeah, I mean, he might have made. I guess because you said it looked like he was crying. He might have. They might have like souped him up to. They might have gimmicked him up to look
Yeah,
like he was crying or whatever.
quite frankly, that might have just been very good acting. I mean, I didn't really. I just saw it as part of the performance. I didn't realize specifically that, but I just may have. I may have just been. I felt like I was just into it. Where I was like, all right, well, yeah, he's very upset. He's feeling very guilty. Basically, he's feeling very guilty. He's upset. I didn't really notice otherwise, but again, I could have just been drawn into the performance, which is that's a compliment.
Yeah. What do you got on this whole scenario yourself?
No, I mean, I'm kind of on the same page with you. I think with what they're doing here is that this is all leading to Kenny turning heel. This is basically a vehicle for that. I do hope that
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Kenny?
For Kenny to turn heel.
Okay, yeah, my bad. I looked down for a second and
yeah. And hopefully there is more that comes out of it than just that. But certainly that you are having that wedge, with Hangman Page and with the Young Bucks, and it's either going to be something perhaps where Kenny just flat out goes heel, aligns himself with the Bucks. I don't know. It's tough to say exactly what they're looking to do with it, but it was a significant enough moment here that something's going to happen soon. I think they basically let this go as long as they could. They finally have a significant moment here. He just feels terrible. He feels responsible for the loss, and we're probably going to be seeing something take place within the next week or two.
How crazy would it be if Kenny turns heel and joins with FTR though?
That's what I'm
versus the Bucks.
Yeah, that's a good point too. It's funny. As I said that was in the back of my head as well. That would also be very interesting, and it certainly wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. So that's a good point. You can really go in a number of different choose your own adventure directions. No matter what, the thing that's going to happen is that Kenny's going to turn heel. That we understand. But what form that's going to take place, involving FTR, involving the Young Bucks, involving Hangman, there's so many different scenarios that they can play with to make it effective. But we know what the end game is.
So it'll be interesting if that's how he gets back with the Bucks. I honestly think the Bucks as heels would be better. But what if they turn the Bucks don't turn, but Kenny turns on the Bucks, and that's how Hangman gets back with the Bucks in terms of helping them against Kenny. You know what I mean? Like Kenny does something, and Kenny and Hangman comes back for the save. Yeah, that would be another interesting plot twist.
It would, and that would still allow you to have that separation between FTR and the Bucks. There you go. I gotta say, Figures was definitely more impressive in person than I would have thought when I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, just showing for people listening. I'm just showing the Kenny Omega figure with the pistol fingers. They're pretty good. Let's not get too. Sorry, I shouldn't have got us in the weeds like that. But so like you said, man, there's just so many different options. It's just a matter of which direction they take. So we got FTR versus Best Friends. Did they legit just start this match in the middle of a commercial?
It felt like they did. Yeah, and again, we've been seeing this where there's something going on with TNT with the production.
I was taking notes, so when I looked up, it's on a commercial.
No, you could be right. I think they were. I think that they got something off at the timing with coming back from the break. It was a little odd. I don't know if anybody in the chat room can confirm if that's the case, if we're going nuts or not. But I feel like that happened as well.
Real quick, Kenny says the whole storyline with Omega and Hangman has so many layers and options that can be explored, it's got to be the best long-term booking story maybe of all time. I think it's a very good long-term booking scenario. I think it would have been hashed out sooner had COVID not happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't say the best long-term booking, but I would say almost the best. I think the best ever long-term booking was Crow Sting, hands down. I don't think anything will touch that. The whole Crow Sting 97, I think that's probably the best long-term booking of one steady storyline that you can look at and say for sure. I think it's a very well-booked storyline with the whole Elite thing, but there's been some weird slowdowns and weird things that happen throughout it that kind of make it a little it's good, but then there's some quirkiness to it that almost didn't need to be there, but definitely a very, very good so far long-term booking.
Certainly as far as AEW goes, I would say yes.
Right. So yeah, I mean literally just was like right to commercial. I don't get it. I really I didn't get it. It didn't make any sense to me where you're putting the commercial in the final match of the gauntlet match, and it's just awful. It's just fucking awful.
Yeah.
Whose idea this was, I don't get it. So then I also had the ref wouldn't count the pin because Dax crashed. Oh, Jesus Christ, I wrote Dax crash into Dax. Yeah, that don't make sense. So I think it was Dax crash into Cash.
Yep.
And the ref counted it as a tag. Cash went out to the outside after the bump from Dax, but the ref he did the whole tag. He did the hand slap for the tag. So the ref's just standing around while there should be a count going on. And he's just looking around. And then literally after 20 seconds of standing there, he finally decides he's going to go down and count. And I'm like, well, what is it, ref? Don't even bother going down. If you fucked up the play right there, don't even bother going down. Just stay up and let him get up and reset.
Yeah.
So the ref really fucked up there. It seems like the ref fucked up there.
I think that was the ref fuck up as well. I mean, I have seen that before where you're like, yeah, you will see a bump in a tag team match, and as part of the story, the ref is gonna be like, oh yeah, that was a tag. And
you know what?
Yeah.
You know what the problem is because they allow back slap tags. I'm sorry, you shouldn't allow black slap tags.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's fucking bullshit. You can't have that tag team bumping your tag team partner maneuver if it's gonna be a fucking tag.
Yeah.
The guy's tagging through the middle rope, tagging, hopping on the rope to tag a guy lower than them that's been like on the mat. You got back slap tags. Stop. Yeah. Don't make me fucking go flames. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Too much technical shit today. I don't want to deal with any more technical shit. Just don't make me put the flames up. But just stop. And then then you're gonna have the Bucks who are like they get funny on BTE and be like they make jokes about the people who complain about certain things that they do. But take the shit, man, and run with it and think about it and use it. Sometimes they do change things up, and I'm not gonna say they don't. But, they want to make jokes about it and, old man this and old man that. Motherfucker, like, you got to have, like they say, you got to have rules to make it interesting, to make you be invested. If you're breaking rules, now I'm invested because you're breaking the fucking rules, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. So now I get infuriated on it, and you're getting heat on the baby face or whatever, so... This is what you need, man. You need fucking rules. There's never a fucking legit count. There's never a fucking DQ. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can just do whatever you want. Okay, no flames. I'm going to end it there so I don't have to dig into the flames.
Sorry, man. You're going to have to edit those in there. That was flamey.
So that just annoyed the fuck out of me, man. It's like just adds to like just thinking about it. It's like, you know what, man? If people would do the fucking, if it wasn't such a shitty fucking badly, rehearsed rules there, it wouldn't even have been an issue with the ref.
Yeah.
But the refs can't even keep up with these wrestlers. The match felt too quick, especially because of that commercial break to start. It was so bad, just
it,
stupid.
it felt abbreviated, and I don't know if it was just simply that, but for it to be like that last match in the, you would think that there would be a lot more drama involved, a lot more, let's amp this up a little bit, let's make you wonder. But no, it was pretty quick for what it should have been for a final match of a, what do we call it? I can't use my words.
Gauntlet match.
Yes. For a gauntlet, you would think that the final match of a gauntlet, there would be a lot more. It would feel like there's more at stake. It would be a lot more you're invested in it. All of a sudden, just snap. Just like that. It ended quickly.
Right. And, of course, FTR wins, and we'll discuss a little bit of the pay-per-view after this. So then we get Archer versus Jobber. Did you have anything else on that? I didn't mean to just
No, not at all. I didn't. That was pretty much it. Okay. Yeah, it's, they've set everything up. FTR is going to be against Hangman and Kenny, and I think we know where it's going from there.
Yeah. So we got Archer versus Jobber here. Again, just a showcase. I don't know if you caught this at the end of the Archer match. Just about to go to commercial, Jake did the V with his fingers and stuck his tongue through it.
Yes.
Like the eating.
Yes.
Did you catch that? Yeah. Eating, eating a little pussy there.
I did. I was surprised that was left on the air, honestly.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, what the fuck was he doing and why?
I'm wondering. I haven't heard anything, but I am wondering if Tony Khan was really pissed by that because, that is not something you want to have on TNT. Or if TNT was pissed by that. That is not something you want to show on TNT on a program that was on at what time did that take place? I don't know. Was it 9 o'clock yet there?
That was early because they were still. So the Gauntlet got over at 8:30, so it was like 8:35 somewhere around there.
So you're talking about something that happened on TNT. It wasn't even 9 o'clock yet, and I can see there being a lot of sore feelings over that. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah. It was real fast.
Boom. It was fast, but I saw it
real fast. Yeah, I was just like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Who is he pointing at to?" Because it was he was facing the face side of the ring, and it was more towards the bell table.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah.
He might have just been joking with one of the guys, and he didn't realize maybe. I guess you always got to think you're on camera. So, What do you got on that match? Anything? I mean,
no, not much. I post match was what was more interesting to me. Anytime Roberts is talking, I like it.
So get into it.
What's that?
So get into it. Let's talk about it.
Well, talking about the upcoming Casino Battle Royale. The other guys don't have a shot. Archer's going to be the one walking out. He needs to wipe that loss off the record. I like the way they're building that. I like the way he was building up Archer to be that guy. And, for Taz to come out, he brings Brian Cage, he brings Starks. They're going to be in the match too. This was a nice build. I like the way this is like a cascade of really good building and booking here. Darby Allin comes out. It's the same kind of thing. They get into a brawl. I liked it, and I liked how they positioned. I specifically like how Roberts positioned Archer for this.
I felt it was a little weird, a little like I don't know. It was good. I like it in the terms like you said. I do like that Archer. They're basically here's what I'm figuring. They're trying to put two big men. They're trying to give two big men a little shine. They're also trying to further the Darby and Taz crew scenario, but it looks more like now Darby, instead of going towards Brian Cage where this all started, it looks like now they're shifting to Darby and Starks, which is fine.
Fine too, yeah.
Right. I did enjoy Jake calling them the Flintstones.
Yes.
He called Brian Cage Fred, right? What do you call Fred? And then he called Wilma Starks, which is hilarious with the long neck.
Yes.
And then Barney Rubble, the fucking Taz. Bro, and he called Taz Barney Rubble. I popped like a son of a bitch, bro. That shit was hilarious.
I could see Taz playing Barney. He's got that stocky, short little build. It worked.
Yeah.
You
He
give
definitely should be in the new Flintstones.
Yeah, give him like that blonde surfer fro thing, and yeah, I could see that working. And he's got the voice for it too. Actually, he would have a perfect voice for Barney. So
Yeah,
Jake
that
may
was
not
great.
realize it, but he may have just cast, Flintstones 2021, 2022.
They definitely need to do a new Flintstones now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. Real quick, Kenny said Jake is in a midlife crisis. He gets a pass. All right. Yeah, I mean, I got no problem.
Jake has been in a midlife crisis for the last 20 years, so,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, honestly, you hear this podcast. I don't give a fuck what these people do. I really, I just noted it and just noticed it.
Yeah,
I got a kick out of it.
Talking about because it is, again,
right.
I'm curious as to whether or not he got heat for it. That's where
He got a little heat, right.
Yeah, that's my curiosity.
Yeah, he might have. Apparently Tony Khan came out before the show and asked if fans that were there. We forgot to mention the fans too. Yeah. This was the first week that there were fans, paying fans. And Tony Khan apparently came out and asked him not to curse. I guess, do chants like "you fucked up" or whatever, stuff like that. And people kind of gave him shit, but I kind of get it in a way because you got fans. TNT, they got a new guy at the head of TNT. You don't want it, you don't want the first time fans are back for these guys to be chanting curses. Obviously, I think when things are back to normal, what are you going to do? It's part of the show.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But
yeah. I think for this, it was because, under normal circumstances, that's not the kind of thing you would do. You would not come out and tell the fans what they can say and what they can't say. I think, for an instance like this, though, where there are so few people in the arena, whatever you say is going to carry. And so, obviously, they have to be very concerned that they have a live show on TNT. And, quite frankly, it was risky, I felt. That when you really think about it, it is a very risky venture that you're bringing fans out when it's that few people in the building and you don't know what they're going to say or do. Look what happened on freaking, WWE has a Thunderdome, and look what happened there. People putting up pictures of freaking Ku Klux Klan and a beheading and Chris Benoit. You don't know what's going to happen when you're live, period. And when you're tied to a network like that for the most part is family friendly, it's something that they really have to be mindful about. So, props to Tony Khan for getting things into a position where you could bring people in, even if it's a few number of people. But at the end of the day, it is a risk for a live program on a network.
Yeah.
So we'll see
what happens. You said, and I feel the same way. I don't think that if this was a regular show with full packed house, he would probably not say a single word.
No, in that case, it's like whatever, and they could do 7-second delay probably more easily with it, and it's a lot of it gets drowned out by overall crowd generated noise. So yeah, but when you have that few people in the house, then you're going to have a possible issue.
Yeah. You have anything else on that, or we move to the next little segment?
We can move on.
Okay, so I got we get that awesome video package for the women's title.
Yes.
That fucking package was awesome.
It was great.
Super fucking good. And not only that, but they get there, they're both ready to sign the contract. Shida looked fucking awesome. She great intensity on her face. Thunder Rosa looked great. They sign up, then they face off. Shida was for real right there, man. She got that in. I loved, they both looked at each other so well, and they really fucking sold me on that match. Just in that look between the two of them, especially Shida. Shida really gave her it's fucking on. She gave her that look, man, and I really liked that. And, when Thunder Rosa grabbed the title, she goes, "No!" She screamed no, and then she hit her with the you're not going to win that, that's not going to be yours, whatever. She said it in Japanese, which was cool too, a nice little touch. I can't remember the exact words she said, but I really enjoyed that little segment. Just so well done.
And I don't want to gloss over the significance of the segment in that you got NWA footage and you got Lee Corgan doing a voiceover.
True, 100% true.
The overall segment was very impressive. The overall production of that, that just preparing for the match was very impressive. But that to me was the most significant part of it, in that you do wonder now if the fact that they're using NWA footage, you've got Billy Corgan on there doing a voiceover. Are we looking at a partnership? Are we looking at something where, NWA may not be back in a significant capacity? And if it is ever back in a significant capacity, might we see a partnership with AEW? Because that was weird. That was not something I was expecting. I understood that, yes, they got the rights to have Thunder Rosa. I figured it was just a simple matter of, okay, we have the rights to use her. NWA is not happening right now. We're allowed to have her on our program. But the fact that they used footage from a supposedly rival promotion was very significant to me. And I really am. I'm biting at the hilt to really see, can we see more of that? Are we going to have more instances of some NWA talent and some NWA stories perhaps bleeding into this program the longer that they are pretty much on the mat? No pun intended. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I think it's a good start. I mean, honestly, a lot of people are leaving NWA right now.
Yeah,
so
it's a shame because they just did something that, it's like, what are you going to do if you're going to stay there and you can't work and the promotion's not having anything new? What are you going to do? It's sad.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see what remnants happen with NWA once that all squares out, and maybe they continue their relationship, or maybe it's just a one off, or maybe a couple shots, and until the NWA gets going, and we'll see. And in a great AEW fashion, they overdo things. They go from contract signing to contract signing.
Yes.
But honestly, okay, I make that joke because we do joke about that. Both contract signings are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Shida and Thunder Rosa's, for one reason, it was very low key and very intense, and the Moxley and MJF, because it was a nice big show. Both guys going out there. I mean, MJF just fucking kept going and going like the Energizer Buddy.
Yep.
But he was solid all the way through. They both murdered it. He fucking took a shot at Moxley's wife, Renee.
Yep.
Tell your little wife, and Moxley jumped up, and I think Moxley, not that he wasn't like trying to, not being a bitch about it. He just jumped up and was like, okay, don't worry, I'm going to get my hands on him. He can say what he wants now. He wants this. He wants a reaction. The lawyer's like, oh, I'll sue you. That's not why Moxley stopped. Moxley just stopped because he's like, I realize I'm going to get my hands on this guy. Not because the lawyer said that, I'm going to sue you, aka Smart Mark Sterling.
Exactly.
Who, again, I think we said last week is Brian Myers, trained wrestler and friends with Brian Myers and Matt Cardona.
Yep.
He's their producer on their podcast. So that's who the lawyer is. I just thought both guys killed him, man, and I loved the twist at the end. I loved it. I love that, like, the whole fax. Yeah, I faxed it over. But did you failed to read page 17? Well, there is no page 17. What are you talking about? Kenny, listen, Kenny, man, Kenny in the chat, man. Listen, I get it if MJF doesn't win. You want to riot, but come on, we got enough of that shit. We don't need any more of that shit, man. But no, all joking aside, that's funny. Yeah, Kenny definitely wants MJF to win. I don't know how I feel. Like, I do want him to win. I really love Moxley, but maybe MJF just keeps building his steam. He's very young. I'm not saying he can't hold the title young, but I think that's a guy that you keep letting him build that steam, and then you make it pay off in the near future. But I also don't mind him getting the title, coming up. But in a way I do, because I'm also a guy who likes titles to mean something. I like good year-long title reigns. I think that makes a title mean more to me.
Yeah.
That's one super, super solid reason, in my opinion, why I would prefer that Moxley keep the title, because I do feel that keeps a title strong the longer a champion can hold that title. But yeah, back to this. I did like that it was at the end there was no brawl, nothing. Moxley even he says, "Look, no one broke a table." I did enjoy that it was just a straight up verbal jabbing each other, and just a contract signing.
Yeah.
With the snuck in page 17. Good lawyer there, Smart Mark. You fucking bum ass lawyer. I'm shot. Listen. And Smart Mark's gonna catch that fucking. He's gonna catch that DDT next week for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Easily.
The paradigm shift, baby. So what do you got on that segment yourself? What was your takeaway?
No, it was great. One of the best lines I thought was where was it? I'd written this down. I just thought this was really, really funny. Where he the line about that Moxley needs to follow social distancing like his hairline. That was good.
That was a good shot. That was a good shot.
Really good line. I liked that it wasn't like a traditional contract signing where, exactly. At the end, there's a brawl, they break the table, they throw the pen down, and then they wrote, it was like, no, they did something unique with it. I like the fact that they actually did have a twist with it, that you're going to have this additional storyline layer where he's got to face the lawyer. That was good. It definitely, I kind of felt going in, it was going to be a traditional just contract signing, like a normal one, where, they were going to fight, whatever, and just build. Well, no, they have a little bit of extra layer here. Before they have their match, and that was cool. That made it so that it's like next week is not going to feel like just a filler week now. It's like they have another little bit of storytelling in there. Yeah. Right. So that was good. That was good. This is different than what I felt was happening with Cage and Moxley, where you and I talked about this every week. Felt the freaking same. It felt like all they were doing was building. It was the same thing every week. They were running out of story to tell, whereas here there is enough meat on the bone for them to continue to add layers so that you're not feeling like you're running out the clock waiting for the match. So that was good.
Yeah, I agree. It led real smoothly. I mean, they did have 7 weeks for that one, so
yeah, I
kind of understand it. Like I said in the past, I know you were a little more annoyed with it than I was.
Yeah.
But I get where you were coming from. All right, so fuck it. We'll move to the next one. Butcher Blade and the Lucha Brothers versus Kiss, Janella, Garrison, and Pillman Jr.
Too many people.
So, too many people. So we get an inset promo from Eddie Kingston.
Yep.
Shouts out Yonkers. That's your shit.
I like that.
Right, Alan?
Favorite part of it.
little Yonkers in the house, right? Yonkers.
It's YAAANKAS.
He went full New York with that.
Right.
But in case anybody doesn't know, Alan resides somewhere near there.
Well, actually they are, but yes.
Currently. He technically resides in California, but where he's at now is
I might go total heel at the end of this thing. I'm going to smash this laptop and get on a flight and just go right back so this show can go properly again. I don't know.
We need better technical service. We need better internet, son of a bitch. It's all those bins.
And Hash is about. This is not what we have come to have prepared for our technical generosity. I don't know what I'm saying. I can't do it.
You are the worst promo in the business, son. You are the worst promo in the business. Oh my god. You got all them bins clouding your Wi-Fi.
I could do much better when I'm doing a Macho Man promo, and I have to go in the ring. I have to cream the crowd, and I have to ad-lib that one because we're gonna slap this laptop down and fly right back to Burbank, where the connection was smooth as a mocha latte at the Starbucks. Yeah.
You do a good Macho cut promo. I can vouch for that. So it was funny though. He shouts out Yonkers 7:30, which means crazy. That's slang for crazy, and Eddie Kingston is definitely crazy.
Yep.
So after the match, I really didn't take notes on the match because it's just a fucking bunch of guys. After the match, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it was a mess. I mean, it's.
What do you got on the match itself? Because I don't have notes. I have ending notes.
I mean, the match itself was, it's a lot of brawling that took place early on. It's all brawling. And eventually then you get to, Janella works his way in, he tags Kiss, and then you've got the kick to the head, Hurricanrana. We finally get a little bit of actual match. I liked the, Pentagon hitting the package pile driver. That was pretty cool on the apron, Janella. That a move like that always looks like it's painful. It always looks painful. It was a typical AEW multi-man tag match, I guess is the best way to say it.
Is anybody else getting tired of them? Anybody? Bueller? Kenny in the chat, are you getting tired of the multi-man matches? I know me and Alan are.
Also now,
so
I'm sorry, last thing I'll say.
Yeah.
Again, no offense intended, but I don't need Sunny Kiss and Joey Janela on both Dark and Dynamite.
Well, they were there to do their job. So.
I'd like to see Allie on both Dark and Dynamite. I'd like to see Hangman Page. I'd like to see Kenny on both shows. I'd like to see Jericho on both shows. I don't need to see these guys on both shows. I just don't.
Yeah. Yeah, Kenny says I was tired of it months ago, brother. Yeah, for sure. That's one of the like things about AEW that's really been rubbing me the wrong way since the beginning. And they've done it since the beginning, which is I just don't get it. And I love AEW like this, like like I've said it in the past to everybody listening. It's like I love AEW, man. I'll criticize it, but I'm not that guy. Like I love AEW. I'm not stopping watching it because of this. But, you got to call shit for what it is, You know, if your best friend can't tell you you're a fucking asshole, then who can, I mean,
exactly.
That's how I look at it. AEW and me are best friends, and I'm going to let AEW know when you're being an asshole.
There you go.
So, after the match, you got Kingston Kingston says they're all in the Battle Royal. My personal opinion is I'm guessing that Kingston basically set this all up, so he's got protection while he's in the Battle Royal for the buy-in.
I think so too. They've been basically putting in that direction. He's trying to get a crew. He's trying to get people to protect him. He's trying to get an entourage. Right. So yeah.
Right. So that's where I think it's going.
Same.
You want to start us off with the Dark Order celebration?
Coming out with the casket was pretty. Yep, that was pretty funny.
They did they're playing off the meme.
Yeah, that was done very well. It was a nice surprise that they opened it and the guy, just somebody in there with the Nightmare Family jacket over his face, and it's 10. That was great. He's just popping out. Nightmare Family's dead and gone. New Prince is Brodie Lee. He comes out there with Anna Jay. I liked how they were building this again. This is what I was looking forward to seeing what would be the aftermath of what happened last week. And it was good. It was really, them just setting the stage for, we basically were taking over. That's it. They're taking over. And
we're taking over.
There you go. I liked Anna Jay being introduced as, the Queen Slayer as the newest official member. That was great. John Silver jumps on the mic, says Lee's the man, slapped out. Someone pick this little shit up. That was great.
Yeah, he did. He smacked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
It was perfect timing too.
It was. It was.
I've been hearing this segment catch a lot of shit, but it ain't catching shit from us, pal.
Yeah. No, it was very enjoyable. I liked it a lot. It had that feeling to me. I know apparently I was reading some comments when we posted this on Facebook that a lot of folks thought we were completely off, where we were like, oh, this reminded me of NWO. It's like, well, no, it kind of does to some extent. And then, very much like those early NWO segments, what happens at the end, whereas the WCW locker room came out to try to fight them off, you got Dustin and QT coming out.
Yep.
Scorpio Sky jumps in the ring.
Cardona
comes to the ring, and it was it was pretty much, it was a very entertaining segment, and it was kind of what you were expecting. You were expecting to set the table, saying that this is the next big bad to try to beat, and I loved it.
What got me was early on when he was high-fiving with all the Dark Order.
Yeah.
And Brodie's a tall guy.
Yeah.
So he kept his
Yeah.
hand up there, and all the guys are catching him. And then Silver he went and he missed him, and he had to go back and jump up to catch. I did, like, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if that was scripted or if that was just, ad lib, but that was well done if that was ad lib. If he legitimately missed and had to come back to try again, that's pretty funny.
I think it was scripted.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, are they, people have been saying, oh, are they a comedy act or they serious act? It's like, I don't mind that little bit of funny in that. You know what I mean? Even NWO had funny.
Yeah.
They had Nash and Hall doing their funny shit,
Nolan Hash.
Nolan Hash, yeah. We're Nolan Hash, pal. But, so, you could be as serious as you want and still have some funny shit in it. It basically just, to me, was like, it was funny, and Brodie Lee's like, fuck you, little man. It don't matter. I'm going to keep my hand where it is. I'm the boss. You got, you want to slap, you got to be able to reach me.
Yep. Yep.
And I laugh at it while it happens.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts of that. I just got a kick out of it. I felt the whole segment was great. Another vibe, the NWO vibe. They, like you said, the natural nightmares came out, got beat up. Scorpio Sky, Matt Cardona came out, kind of clean house a little bit. But where's that lead Sky and Cardona? Do one of these guys? I think it's too early. Sky just lost a title match. I think now Cardona could get into something with Brodie Lee.
Yeah, I mean, that was my only, I guess, in my notes was my only, I guess, criticism, so to speak. I do feel like it's a little early for either of them to really
do something.
To do something now. Like, I kind of almost feel like, I don't know if not yet established enough is the right way to say it, but I do kind of feel like there should have been maybe somebody else in those positions running in to make a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It might be too soon for them, but we'll see. Maybe that's the whole point. Maybe the point is they're trying to give these guys a big push, and so this is the story that they're going to try to push them in, and to see what happens.
Yeah, here's my thing. I think that they're bringing Sky in to get him more time on TV, and I feel like it's now going to go into Cardona challenging for the TNT title, probably at All In. I'm gonna guess that this coming week in the 8-man tag, again, multi-man tag, that there's gonna be something that goes on with Cardona that gets him into a title match the next week, or that weekend, actually this coming weekend, at All Out. So it's probably gonna be Cardona challenging for that title, if I had to guess.
Yeah. It wouldn't be.
What'd you say?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, no. Me neither. Because, I mean, that's the only logical guy out of those four guys.
Exactly.
I would have said Scorpio Sky, but like I said, he just, 3 weeks ago, wrestled for the title?
Yeah, it's too soon. Like it would be too soon to get him back in the mix already for that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So it was really cool to see when he called Anna Jay the Queen Slayer. Mm-hmm. I hope they keep that nickname on her. He claims she's going to be 99 now. 99 the Queen Slayer. What I think, like, scrap the 99 thing and go with the Queen Slayer Anna Jay.
Yep.
Or Anna Jay the Queen Slayer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that right there, in my opinion, is fucking. That's fucking top of the heap right there.
Absolutely.
That just rings. It just makes you get hyped for her. I think that's perfect. I mean, that was a great segment with her. The week prior.
Yep.
But he called her 99. So let's hope they don't just stick with 99. I really disagree with that. And the Queen Slayer obviously was the week prior, but
yes.
I think we spoke about it. But you got me hyped up. You mentioned it, so in my brain, I'm thinking it was this week. After all this, we get the Bucks. Actually, it was Dasha going to interview Hangman with what happened. Just as she starts talking, timing is like they don't even let him get a word in. The Bucks come in. The segment was good. The Bucks, what the fuck's going on? What are you doing? We said you were always good enough to be with us. Now, now you're not with us, so fuck off. Matt is just, he's too over the top. I mean, here's the thing about the Bucks. They are talented in-ring workers. I don't care what anybody says. When they slow it down and mix in the fast-paced shit, they're so good.
Yep.
However, they both suck a dick at acting. Their facials suck. They're acting in these promos suck.
Yep.
When they talk, they're not believable to me. That's what's holding them back. That's why I think as heels, it's a little easier because they could be more whiny like they seem, or not as good as they seem because they could be schmarmy little heels.
Yeah.
So I just, Matt Jackson especially is just like god awful with this shit. But I like the segment. I like the broken mirror. Hangman looking at his shattered image in the mirror. Say that again?
That was cool. That was a nice visual.
Right. It was a nice visual for what, like, the mental situation going through this.
Yep.
Currently.
Yep.
Kenny Waters, Hangman did not say one word or have a match, but was my star of this week's Dynamite solely for his facial expressions. There you go.
And there's the difference. He can act. This is probably going to piss off a lot of young Buck fans, but I'm completely on the same page with you that they suck at acting, and it's probably one of the reasons why they perform much better in the indies. When you're in the indies, there's more of an emphasis on your ring performance, at which, yes, they are fantastic ring performers. And when they want to be, sometimes they get too crazy. But the problem is, as they say, like, fantasy sports or whatnot, they're 3-tool players, 4-tool players. They're not 5-tool players. They are missing that element of needing to be able to cut a convincing promo and have you believe in their characters. And because they suck so bad in that regard, it's kind of like they would serve better being whiny heels. Because I feel like if you're a whiny heel, being in that kind of a role can mask your lack of performance for promos. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It works. But when you look at them and you look at Hangman, they're on two completely different worlds as far as being able to act and perform, I guess, is what it comes down to.
I think at this point it's like you should be thinking about acting class. I know people shit on Cody because he took acting classes, but you should maybe think about taking some acting classes.
You know what? Nobody should shit on it. There is nothing wrong with that. I mean, wrestling.
Your whole thing is.
Yeah, wrestling is different today. Back in the day, you didn't have a lot of these guys taking acting classes because they were allowed to be themselves. They were not following anything scripted. Learning how to cut a promo was something different from what it is today, and just learning to be able to perform. There's nothing wrong with taking acting classes for something like this, because at the end of the day, this is a show. And
here's the deal. The Bucks, they would have had a manager, just like Rock and Roll Express.
Yes, that's right.
They would have had a Jim Cornette, and they would have been out there on their performance alone. Rock and Roll Express. Ricky could talk a little, but I mean, I don't recall Rock and Roll Express being like major promos. You know what I mean?
No, they didn't need to be.
It was based off their ring work. Today's day and age, I think acting classes would behoove. It would not behoove. It would help them out. So I don't see what the harm could be in that.
Right.
Personally.
Right.
And they are allowed to be themselves. I think the problem is they are themselves.
Right. They're right. Which it doesn't. Sometimes that works if you've got the right. If you're someone like Ric Flair, obviously sometimes that works.
Right.
But
because he's good at it. They're not. They're just not. Their selves are not good. Like Ric Flair being himself, he inflects. He really is emphasized. You don't look at Ric Flair and think he's bullshitting or acting.
Say right.
You look at the Bucks and they're acting clearly,
badly,
and poorly.
Yeah.
Right. What else you got on that whole thing?
I thought that was pretty much it.
That's it. Okay.
I think we covered.
Listen, bro, I don't want to shortchange you because I know I kind of lead the convo,
no,
so I want to make sure.
I mean, you and I gave both of our perspectives on that. I think that summed it up.
I want to make sure I'm giving you your lead in there, pal. Yeah. So we get Penelope and Rebel or Reba versus Big Swole and Yummy Rebel.
Yep.
Penelope, she botched that lift. I don't know if you noticed earlier. Yeah. She went to lift Swole up.
Yeah.
She completely fucking botched that thing, dude. She just she couldn't get her up, and then she just just dropped her like a sack of potatoes.
Which was very dangerous, but yes.
Yeah, it was pretty much as the bell rang. So,
yeah, exactly.
The match was blah. The gist of it was fun. I got it. The match the chemistry wasn't kind of really worked out well. I did like the ending with the ref takes the crutch.
Yes.
Then the other crutch gets introduced. Bam, works against them. 1, 2, 3. Big Swole wins. Gets whatever match she wants against Britt Baker. And Britt's furious, rolling around like a lunatic out there. Can't get away because obviously she's got the stairs. But Britt played the role great.
Yeah.
She hit the little pool. Jesus Christmas. The pool cue shot with the crutch on Big Swole that one time, which was fun. And that's pretty much all I got on that match. Where you at?
Same. Sloppy.
Yeah.
Obviously, predictable as far as the outcome. And yeah. I was much more I was much more enamored with what happened after that. You come to side, and Anna Jay and Evil Uno and Grace are there. They see Tay Conti, and she gets offered a spot in Dark Order, and that is awesome. So we're happy to see.
You kind of mumbled your way into that, man. That's a big segment for me, man. Yep. Do I have to take control of this shit again?
Well,
I let you take the lead there, and you mumbled into that.
I was so excited about it that I just decided to just launch right in.
Yeah, but you mumbled into it. All right.
Did I really?
Listen, let's start. Yeah. You kind of mumbled. Hey, Kenny, did he mumble into that?
That might be the phone.
I think Kenny's still here. Blame the technology after now. It's like an hour and a half later. We've gotten over the technological issues, I think.
We'll find out.
So, no, and I'm just busting your balls. I'm good at that.
I ball.
So, they're powder. That was the line of the night yesterday when you were over here. So, yeah, like you said, Anna Jay comes out, has the contract, offers it to Tay. We had spoke about this last week, I believe, that they were so well as a tag team. We were like, me. I mean, I know it was my thought. Maybe you had the same thought. I was like, yeah. Kenny says blame it on the internet. So for me, it was like, this was something that I was like, okay, if Anna Jay is in Dark Order, and I enjoyed Tay and her as a tag team, I thought they had great chemistry, not just in the ring, but as interacting as the wrestlers they are. They seem to get along well. They look good together. They seem to be on the same vibe, like the same wavelength. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just like they work together.
Yep.
Even when they're not wrestling, they just work together. You could see, like, you get a vibe about people together and that they really click. And I was like, would the Dark Order, would they bring Tay in to join her in the Dark Order? And sure enough, I mean, they did, which is fucking awesome. Tay hugs her, and she still seemed a little apprehensive after she kind of gave the yeah, let's do it, and we'll see. Hopefully it's just a Colt Cabana thing where she's a little apprehensive at first, and then
Yeah,
eventually she's starting to
yeah, yeah.
starting to be like, I'm kind of digging this, you know what I mean? But yeah, because I really enjoy those two as a team, and I think Tay Conti's a fucking great worker from what I've seen in that women's division
Absolutely.
tournament. I'm sorry, that women's cup tournament.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so go ahead, bring your take back. We're gonna rewind and let you get a little more excited about it. Well, what do you feel? How souped were you about this?
I was very souped about it, and I was thinking the same way you were. It's like, well, it would only make sense because yeah, they did perform well, and it was acknowledged that they performed well. I was even wondering whether or not, at the end of the segment last week, feels like it's been a month, if Tay was going to even come out too. And yeah, I like that they didn't just drop it. They didn't just like, okay, we had the deadly draw. Let's forget about it now. Let's forget about everything that happened in it, because they practically did forget about everything that happened with the way they did the storytelling. But I like the idea that they decided to, again, I'm all about continuity, that they maintained that little story, that no, they had a thing going and they did pretty well together. And so let's get her involved. So yeah, it worked.
Yeah, that was fun. That was good. It was
we get to see more of her on TV, and great.
Right. And it was something that we both wanted to see. So
Yep.
I mean, right? I mean, I believe you were on the same page with me.
Absolutely.
Like that was something I felt was like really something that could really pop off with those two.
Yep.
I really out of the whole tournament, I really caught the vibe off of them too. So I don't remember what this is a reference to, but I have my notes literally say another dumb fucking million man match.
Yeah.
I don't know. They must have promoted probably next week's
next
20-man tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you had a note on that as well.
No, too many fucking people. That's always my note. It's
that's just fucking hilarious.
Why? It's I don't know. I'm just over.
Yeah, I can't even remember what match it was, but I did note that.
It's Private Party.
I'm assuming it.
Yeah, it's Private Party in SCU. The Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. Winners face each other at All Out. Okay.
Oh my God! Yeah, so that's an 8-man tag.
Yeah.
For some stupid fucking stipulation. Oh my God. You're right. That was exactly it. Dumb. Fucking million man match.
Yeah.
That's the new name for these things. Oh my God. So then we get into Sammy versus Hardy. Okay. Again, we have like 9 minutes to go for a table match. Something fucked up somewhere, or they just didn't plan this well. And on top of a 9-minute match for a table match that I really wanted to see, I love Sammy, you know that.
Yep.
9-minute match, and you get a commercial break after just coming back from a commercial break before the match. What the fuck are we doing, man?
This is, again, there's something wrong with the production. There is something.
But here's the thing.
It's simple as that.
You know what? I was going to say this is a thing. They've been pretty good throughout the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I think about it, a lot of those shows were taped.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
There we go. We're back to fucking messy shit.
Exactly.
I don't understand how you let this match be 9 minutes and then have a commercial, 2 minutes after it starts?
Pretty much.
Whatever it was?
Yeah, it was
after just coming back from a fucking commercial.
Yep.
So I don't know. I was a little fucking aggravated by that. And holy fuck, Sammy got flipped out of the ring and landed hard on his head.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that.
I did. It's like everybody was calling it a receipt, but I don't think that was done on purpose.
I cringed. I cringed when I seen him get flipped on his head. I don't know. I guess just the way he went out. And then Sammy got hard-wayed by the table. I don't know if you caught that was hard-way.
I did.
Yeah. When he went through that table, he dove through onto the table. the side that you know how the sides usually just stay up. The one side fucking like just came back and just ricocheted off his head.
Yep.
And just split him. So that was a nice split too.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it was a good match, man. It was a really fired up match. I love the intensity on both of these, and the commercial break just pissed me off.
Yeah.
Man. And the fact that they only gave it 9 minutes.
Yeah. Poor production.
I mean, I'm happy Sammy won.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Well, just poor production ruined it. It probably would have been a match that would have been better on a pay-per-view or on a major event, and then have more time given to it. It was just it comes across as sloppy production, and they didn't have enough time allotted, or they didn't time it correctly with the commercial. And on top of that, I mean, that's the thing exactly. Not only is it a 9-minute match with the 2 commercial breaks, but they had to leave time for the post-match as well. So you just have this.
Don't go into that yet.
I won't go into that yet, but this is part of that conversation that you've got this small encapsulation of time that they're trying to do too much to try to just fit it all in, and it was very what's the word I'm looking for? It was very amateur. Let's say it that way. It was very amateur. Yeah. It was something that you would see maybe, and they're not even really a new promotion anymore, but TNT, say what you want about the promotion itself, TNT, the production people are actual TNT people. They're actual, TNT is on a new network. You should be having people on here who are properly spacing out the commercials and spacing out the production of the show. And I would like to think that TNT is involved with when you're laying out what the show is going to be, particularly if it's going to be live, what's going to happen when. And I don't know. My thinking is that, they just legitimately screwed up. Something else took more time than it was supposed to, or they mistimed the commercial somewhere. And then that's what this was the result of.
Yeah, I mean, 2 big commercial flubs like that in one show is too
much.
One
show, yeah. Somebody was asleep at the wheel for sure with the show,
especially on 2 key matches in this whole show.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that really kind of annoyed the shit out of me. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy Sammy won. Here's the thing. It's going to lead to them having another match anyways. Next week, something's going to happen. We might get the compound match at All Out. So that'd be pretty cool. And then we'll go to the very end. You wanna cap off what happened at the very end there?
Sure. I mean, Orange Cassidy came out of nowhere. Jericho was attacked the commentary. Jericho had been on commentary. You got Jim and Tony moving aside, battling on their way towards the stage. You get these, again, I hate this expression, the Superman punch. They do it with Roman Reigns. The Superman punch by Cassidy. I cannot stand that expression.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a Superman punch in MMA, so that's where they get it from.
Yeah, I've always hated that expression.
It's an actual move.
No,
in
I
MMA,
get it.
Though.
I get it.
But they add emphasis in wrestling.
Yeah,
it's a little.
They do. It's
more
over the top.
Dramatized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, it was a cool little brawl. I liked. It came to the close. You get a few shots in by Jericho. It was a cool way to just whet your appetite and end it to prep for the next show. So it was.
The brawl was good, man.
The brawl was very
really
good.
Solid.
It was good. It was raw. It was solid. Again, I would have liked
to
have seen a little bit more of it if they had done right with the timing with the match. But no, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so I mean, I for some reason we haven't done this in a while. I don't know why, but what do you think? Like, of the whole show, what was your favorite? What was your favorite piece of this show?
Of this show? Oh, easily the whole with the Dark Order with Brodie and the crew coming out. I mean, it's not even a contest. Okay. Oh yeah, not even a contest. That made the whole show for me, honestly. Outside of that, the rest of the show was, I guess, it was average for me. Nothing really to write home about for me. That made the entire show, and that right now is the angle that I am most invested in with this promotion.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to say, man, I mean, because I have like 3 that I'm kind of like, which one do I prefer? I do, like, I'm with you, the Dark Order segment, the Anna Jay and Conti part of the Dark Order as well. And I got to be honest, like as little a role as it had on the show, I just thought it was fucking incredible. Was the Shida and Thunder Rosa package and contract signing?
That is true. It felt like a real fight. Like it did not feel like a staged wrestling contract signing. It felt like an actual fight contract signing, like what you would have for MMA or something like that. And I know they've done that before.
Yeah.
And again, I loved the incorporation of the NWA stuff as well. So yes, I will definitely put that as my number 2. Right behind the Dark Order is my favorite part of the program.
Yeah, I would have to say 1 and 2, like, back to back. It'd be tough for me because I'm just invested in Shida so much.
Sure.
And the Dark Order, I've never hated them like everybody else has, and I'm glad to see it's, catching its stride. What do you got in terms of next Saturday? Do you want to go over all out what we have, or do you want to? What's going on next week? Do you have time to do a?
Well, yeah. You and I talked about maybe doing something at noon on Saturday, and I already put aside that time, so that should be fine.
Okay.
Let's see if I have things technically, taken care of by then. When we come off the call here, I'm gonna try another reboot, and I'm gonna try to fix something else with this. I got it paused in the middle of something, so I didn't want to reboot while we were doing the show, since obviously all my notes are
right.
up. But yeah, I think we could tentatively say let's maybe do a quick thing at noon on Saturday, and we could take it from there.
About all out.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to run over what's already said and use Saturday to cap off this coming Wednesday's added stuff, or do you want to just do the whole show at noon?
I think we could do the show at noon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
this way we got the whole picture, because we have a little bit of the picture of all out, and then Wednesday we'll get the final picture.
Yeah.
And then we'll do like a quick rundown of our picks, and just go over the card real quick at noon. Maybe like quick half hour or whatever.
That sounds good. Yeah, I think a half hour would be perfect for that, just to try to encapsulate what's coming with it. I think that's good.
What's coming that night, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, you listen to this now. Just check. Next Saturday we'll do a little review show about All Out, which is later that night. Just our picks and a rundown of the matches. We won't get too detailed. We'll just kind of see where we think, we'll give our opinions where we think things are going. And by Saturday, of course, we'll have the whole played out week, Wednesday, what other matches get added to the event. So it's a little easier for us to get a big picture and be able to give our opinion on it versus giving you an opinion on 3/4 of the card. And then shit happens Wednesday and we get matches that we didn't speak about, which happened last pay-per-view because of the way we timed.
What I was thinking. Yeah, I think it makes more sense for that, just in case there is something that we might miss that happens on Wednesday that would be pertinent to it.
Yeah, because that's the way we scheduled this show versus when the show airs, and their pay-per-views being on Saturday. We're gonna basically call this a hot tag. This is something we've thought about in the past. Like we had the idea of a quick segments. We'll just call them hot tags, where we come on real quick and give a little AEW info. And this is gonna be our first hot tag. Our hot tag show. So
yeah, for the most part, Saturdays are gonna be tricky for me doing this, but if we plan it enough in advance, like we did here, then I think it'll be a nice little segment to do. Certainly, to kind of
And again, this
is
show. Yeah, these little hot tags are only going to be when there's like significant things.
Sure,
it's not going to be every week. It's just going to be, like this weekend's a pay-per-view, and we won't have all the info till Saturday, till Wednesday. So Saturday will give us a quick 30-minute. We call a hot tag, like I said, 30 minutes in and out.
Yep.
And it won't be a full show. It won't be a full podcast show, regular podcast show. It'll have its own little spin on it, and that's pretty much it. So look out for that. Like, share, subscribe, check us out. Uncensoredalliance.com is our website. Catch us on Twitter at AEW Uncensored, one word. Email AEW Uncensored Podcast at gmail.com. Facebook page and group is AEW Uncensored Podcast. Search it. They'll both pop up. Catch us on Skype. Link in the description. Get there. We'll bring you on the show with us. You'll be live with us on the show. All the podcast third-party podcast apps, iTunes, Google, iHeart, Stitcher, iTunes, Deezer, all that shit. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Get your family and friends' phones and just like, share, subscribe on theirs as well. Take it while they're not looking. Take it while they're looking. Tell them you need to look at something on Google.
No, they're
bullshit them. But yeah, so thank you, everybody. Yeah, Kenny, see you later, man. Thanks for hanging with us again.
Thanks for coming along.
Kenny sends MJF 2020. But yeah, so look out for a quick hot tag Saturday for the pay-per-view, a little pay-per-view review, and then we'll be back Sunday for the regular show. And just want to say thanks again. And sorry for the technical difficulties early on, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace.